everybody, and welcome back to round 3 of AM2 in Contest of Speed. Today we are here at Austria, but before we get going, we're going to take a look at the drivers and constructors standings. So as you can see, through 2 rounds, Stubley is on top with 40 points after a first and third finish so far this season. We got Electric Blade in P2 with 31, F7R in P3 with 24, Nick Minty in P4, Redog P5, Matt Duo P6, Fuse P7, MVD P8, DK P9, Orlando rounding out your top 10. As you can see down the order, those are the rest of your driver standings. As we switch over to constructors, as you can see, Aston Martin with a commanding lead of 55 points through the 2 rounds. Red Bull in P2, AlphaTauri P3, Haas P4, Mercedes P5, McLaren P6, Ferrari P7, Alpha P8, and Williams and Alpine P9 and 10, scoring no points through the first 2 rounds. And so I am your commentator, B. Schultz, and I am joined by Red Devil. How you doing today, Red Devil?
Hello, Mr. B. Schultz. Good evening. Good evening to everyone in the chat. I'm doing good. Austria looks like we have dry conditions. Should be exciting. Should be a close qualifying session today. Can't wait for all the action that's gonna unfold in the next hour or so. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, it should be a good one. Austria is always very close. We should see the qualifying times very close, and we should see the racing very close because there are 3 DRS points on this track, and they're all in a row. So, as long as you can stick with them through the I guess technically the end of the lap, you should be golden here.
Yeah, those three DRS zones really give you so many opportunities to overtake. Yeah, and I think we're gonna see some real close wheel-to-wheel action. People going 2, 3 wide on into turn 3. That is going to be fun, guys.
For sure, as we are going to go on board with Mail. He will be the first driver starting his lap here. Also, very easy to invalidate laps around here and get lots of time penalties. Um, so really, I think as long as you get a good banker in, you should be okay. As Mail's heading up to T turn 3, as the Williams is getting out of his way here. Use all the track here. You want to get as wide as you can on most of the corners here. Use as much track as possible going down into turn 4 as well. Mail definitely knows the correct lines so far. See if you can hold it through the tricky parts of sector 2 here. Very easy to lose the car down through turn 6 and turn 7. But he's looking like he's keeping it pretty clean as he invalidates, as lots of people do, out of turn 8. That is not
That
what
is
you like to see.
unfortunate. Yes, JD behind him on the Mercedes coming through to the final 2 corners, and he invalidates too. Not the greatest of starts for AM2 drivers here.
No, not at all. As Redog's going to come around, it does not invalidate. Looks like he might, but he sets a 1039 for provisional pole. Also, I think he is maybe racing with one arm this week. I could be wrong with that, but I'm 95% sure. As Exotic comes out of the final turn, he is not invalidated. We'll see. He puts a 105.0 to put him in P3 provisionally at the moment. As Chaggerty coming through the last 2 turns, we'll see if he keeps it in within track limits. He does, and he will set a 105.3 for a provisional P5 now, as Badfast goes P2 with a 104.7.
Nick Minty is behind, coming through to the final corner, opens up the DRS. He sets a 105.0 to go P4.
Not too bad as E. Warren slots himself into P7 with a 105.2. As I think F7R is coming to line here, and he's going to set a 104.3 to put himself P2 comfortably after his first lap. Oh, as I hit the wrong number. Go on board with Fuse here. I was trying to go on board with Matt Duo as he sets a 104.2. But we'll stay
As
on.
Zotic has retired on track,
Oh, and Deathstorm.
Deathstorm as well.
It looks like there may have been contact. We'll see if we can go on board. I don't know if anybody's coming through that part of the track. I think most of the drivers have finished their laps that are going through there. But
That is unfortunate.
not a good start for Deathstorm. Exotic, probably not very comfortable right there with a 105.0. I think that'll probably knock him down a few positions by time end here. As
Like
JDTV is coming on here. I think this may be his first race of the season. I could be mistaken on that, though, as he sets a 106.8 to put him P13 after his first lap. As MB,
behind, Chewy has invalidated as well. So has Fuse. A lot of invalidations today.
for sure. We'll go on board with Orlando here as he's just starting his first lap. A little bit squirrely out of turn one, which is very easy to do here. We'll see if he can purple sector one. Again, never know whether those are truthful or not, but he looks like held a good line through turn three there. We'll see if he can keep it together down the hill into turn four. Not using as much of the track as Nick Minty did. Or was it Mail Carton who did that? Either way. I think it was Mail that we were on board with first. Maybe. I don't know.
I
Either
think
way,
it was male.
one of the Haas's, they were using a lot more of the track than Orlando. We'll see if Orlando can keep it together here and not invalidate and see what time he can put on the board here. As he comes down to turn 9. Looks clean. Coming down into turn 10. One of the hardest turns not to invalidate on, but he keeps it clean and he sets a 104.9 to put him P7 provisionally. Not gonna lie, the
Male.
times are a
Yes,
bit slower than I was expecting for AM2 here, but also a lot more spread than I thought there was going to be fair. But it is early.
as Male is going through to the final two corners, he did have a 16-0 in the first sector, which was probably 2 tenths ahead of Orlando. He does not invalidate coming through the last corner, and he sets a 104.3 to put him P3, provisional P3 for the Haas driver here.
That does not surprise me. He has looked, I mean, both the Haas have looked pretty good, I'd say, so far this season.
As I think JD10 is probably doing some practice runs. Uh, I think he did a lot of laps here, so I think he's just getting into the groove. Hopefully, he can set a faster time.
For sure. Go on board with Kane here. Gets a little bit of toe up the turn 3 here. We'll see. Again, does not use a lot of the track on the left-hand side there, as some drivers do. Looks like he got a very clean exit, though, heading down into turn 4. Turn 4, in my opinion, the hardest turn around this track. I could not hook that up to save my life. And it looks like the prediction just went live in chat, so make sure to use your channel points and predict before qualifying is over. Looks like the prediction tonight is penalties, so make sure to get those bets in.
This track, known for giving a lot of time penalties, it'll be an interesting one for sure. Place your bets.
As Kane slots in P13 after his first lap of the night. As I think one of
I
Alpha
think DK,
Tauri's
yeah, DK is on a flying lap behind, coming through to the final two corners.
17 seconds up. That's what you love to see.
Yeah, his first time was a very big banker, I want to say. So,
Oh, there's a
oh, somebody,
Mercedes off in the back. I don't know who that
Oh,
was. I don't know. That is
I think
F7R.
F7R. Yes.
But he did not lose a tire, so that is good. But that was a pretty cool camera angle, seeing him do a pirouette in the background there. But again, didn't lose a tire, so that's the most important thing. We'll see. Gotta get back on track, make sure he doesn't get disqualified here. As Nick Minty's coming to the line, but he is invalidated. We'll see if he goes for a second push lap here. Unless, I think he got invalidated in the final corner, which invalidates your last lap and your next lap. That is the most crucial corner to not invalidate on in this track, in my opinion, because it screws you for 2 laps in a row. As Redog, he's down on his time by a very large margin. We'll see if he backed off. Looks like he's still going for another lap here because he's not flashing on the back there, so he's not saving ERS. As Deathstorm's going to try last the first challenge, it looks like. He's saying in the chat there. Well, oh, as Redog has left the session. That is not what you like to see.
Oh,
We'll try and get him back in ASAP here. As we'll see, it looks like one of the Red Bulls is finishing their laps. That is Electric Blade. He is diving into the pits here. We'll go on board with Bad Fast. See if he's setting a competitive lap time. Looks like he is, but he is flashing as well. He's going to set a 104.5, which puts him right in front of his teammate in P5. Very
that's an
respectable
impressive
lap there.
lap. Yeah, considering the fact that he had no ERS for a majority of the lap, that is a pretty impressive time by the Red Bull driver. Or
As I think
Orlando goes. Oh wow, he just cut the track and dived into the pits there. Not what you want to do.
no, that's naughty naughty. But Chaggerty puts a 104.7 in to put him into P9. Now the grid's getting a bit closer. Closer and closer. It's what you like to see as the laps turn in here. As I think
Warren, I think Warren is on a hot lap. He is 2 tenths up on his first sector time. The Williams driver.
on board with him here. Using a bit of the toe from the Alpine there. Going through turn 4. Very smooth. But still lots of places to mess up. You gotta. It's very tricky, I would say, to put in a very good lap here. There's so many areas where you just go wide a hair, you invalidate, or you lose so much time. But he's looking pretty respectable right now as he heads down into turn 9. Sticks within track limits through turn 10. Probably going a little bit slower through there. Just make sure he gets a valid lap in. And a 105.2, oh no, 104.8 puts him P10. There's a bit of a lag there, but that's a very
Fuse
respectable lap.
for sure. As Fuse goes P4 with a 104.3.
As I think Easy 10 might be coming to the end of his lap here. Oh, he's down. Don't know if he's going to go for another or if he's going to dive into the pits here. It looks like he's going to go for another. Well, we'll come back on board with him in a second. We'll on board
Uh,
with Mail here. Looks like he is on the lap. Does look like he's down though. See if he can rein in the time in the final sector here.
Still has time to go into the pits if he decides to abandon this lap, but
And
looks like he does not
and he
want to do that.
invalidates.
That's unfortunate.
That's not what you love to see right there. As I don't know if anybody's on.
Fragily, Fraggly is on a hot lap, I think. He's pretty much even, but he pulls into the pits as well. A lot of people making a few slight errors. I think F7R Jays is on a hot lap, I believe. He is pretty much even on his first sector time.
Yeah, you can definitely also leave the pits very late here because it is such a short lap time. So it'll be interesting to see who waits till the very last minute. But F7R looking good. He's marginally down on his first lap, but Andy invalidates. Goes just a bit too far over those curbs. Very easy to do. We'll see if he's going to go
That's
for
all.
another, if he's going to dive into the pits. He's going to dive into the pits here. And
As the DK sets a purple middle sector, but that could be, the game glitching out. But he is nearly 2 tenths up,
I'll
going
go
into the final two corners.
on board with him for sure. And just a reminder, um, drivers, if you're listening, you do have to enter pit road through turn 9. If not, it could lead to a penalty because pit road
Yes,
entry is very early here.
yes, a lot of drivers might struggle with that. Hopefully, they realize early on that they cannot do that, as Electric Blade is probably on a hot lap. He's a couple of tenths up on his time.
Speaking more on, as he sets a 104.4 to, I think, keep him P8. But more on the pit road situation. Also, if you have a car directly in front of you, it is very hard to enter pit road as Kane is taking a detour here. Gets back on track though. As I don't know if that's Orlando. He's about to finish his lap. We'll see if he's up. As Kane has
He
left
is
the
currently
session.
down at the moment.
As he's diving into pit road. Lots of people lagging out of this session. If you want to get Kane back in here.
Alrighty, sir.
Which I don't know if anybody else is on a lap. Go on board with Chewy or MVD. Looks like he's slowed down a bit. The Astons are both on outlap.
As Redog extends his time with the 103.5 for provisional pole. Can anybody get close to that time?
I'm gonna bet no. That would be my guess, but you never know.
Well, I
That's
would
yeah.
love to see somebody get close for sure.
I would as well. Because if not, he's basically gonna be on pole the whole season. It seems like, as unless there's rain. His qualifying pace is very very strong.
Red
Um,
Bull doing a fantastic teamwork here as Electric Blade gives Badfast a fantastic toe at the start. Stow. Ooh.
we'll see what his sector 1 split time is if he's up. Marginally up, but up nonetheless. See if he can hold that together for the rest of the lap here, as the times are becoming very close towards the top here, other than Redog. Redog is the Vamu of last season in AM2, it looks like. We'll
Yeah,
see
he
if.
definitely has quality pace. I'm gonna give him that.
Yeah, I think he'll be a bit troubled in the race here, only because, like I said before, there is 3 DRS zones, so it's somewhat as bad fast invalidates. It's I'd say it's relatively easy to stick with the pack here. Um, as long as you get in the DRS train, you should be fine. As a lot of
As
people are out on their final laps. Everybody that's
Matt
in the
Duo
pits.
looks like he's doing. He has a good lap time. He's probably going to be in the late 103s, maybe a 103.9, as he invalidates. That is unfortunate
That
for the
is
Aston Martin driver, but he still has P2.
Yeah, that is not what you like to see, unfortunately. You don't want to see invalidations coming around the final turn, as MVD is going to put a 104.7 in to move himself up into P12. As we have a few guys retiring, it looks like Matt Duo retired on track. That is a no-no. That is not something you're allowed to do, especially when there's drivers behind you. I mean,
Yes.
you're not allowed to do it at all, but you especially don't do it when there's drivers behind you.
Yep.
That might be.
F7RJs looks like he is on a fast lap. He is 2 tenths up. Looks like he might get P2.
As whoever's in pit road is done for the day. No more qualifying for them, as F7R puts it P2 with a great lap time to finish off qualifying of a 104.0. That's
Ooh,
a
looks like the
very good lap
other
time.
Aston of Fuse is completely blocked by a Ferrari ahead of him. That is unfortunate to see.
That is not what
Of
you like to
Easy
hear.
10.
We'll see if Easy 10 can improve as he invalidates, so that would make me even more mad as the Aston. But it is what it is. We'll see. We'll go on board with Chaggerty here. See if he can improve on his. Oh, he's done for the day, actually. go on
as
board with
Chewy goes into pit lane as well.
as I think that is qualifying over.
Yep, looks like we have our grid order for today.
So we'll see. Can Deathstorm go from last to first? We will shortly find out. Just a reminder, better get your predictions in. Qualifying is over, so make sure to get your predictions in the chat. Use all those channel points. Gambling is good. Can do no wrong. But we will see. Um, I'd say no surprise, Redog on pole. I don't think anybody's shocked about that. Um, very
Yep.
close though after him. Um, so I'd say it was pretty good qualifying session. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
if you look at P2 to P13, 14, it's like just 410, 6 tenths there. So it is pretty close. I just hope in the race as well, Redog doesn't run away with it, and there's some wheel-to-wheel action. But with three DRS zones, I'm kind of hoping that you will see that.
For sure. As we'll take you through the order quickly here. We got Redog P1, F7R P2, Mad Duo P3, Nick Minty P4, Mail P5, Fuse P6, Orlando P7, Electric Blade P8, Bad Fast P9, DK P10, JD P11, E Warren P12, MVD P13, Flyver P14, Chaggerty P15, Easy 10 P16, Exotic P17, Kane P18, Fraggily in P19, and Deathstorm rounding out the grid. Get your predictions in chat for who you think is going to do well this race. Um, I don't think Redog has won this season. I think his best finish is P2, and that was last race. So I'm intrigued to see what his race pace looks like this week. Our previous late race winner and double podium driver, Stubley, is not here this week. So we'll see how everybody else can perform. It does look like it'll be a dry race, at least to start. Doesn't look like there's many clouds in the air. What are your predictions there, Devil?
I'm hoping for a close race. I'm thinking Redog might uh, do well. I'm gonna give him P2, Mad Duo P3, and I'm gonna say someone like Nick Minty or Male is gonna get P1. I'm gonna say Nick Minty. He seems like a really consistent driver, so I'm gonna give it to the Haas. Who do you think?
I could see Nick Minty. He is, as I call him, the safety car whisperer. So we'll see if he can whisper a safety car in his way this week. I'm intrigued to see what Death can do from the back. But as we go, we have 5 red lights. And we always hold for a bit longer. And away we go. As it looks like everybody's away well. Got a little bit of scruffing in the back there. As the Mercedes cuts turn one, gives up the position anyways. We have a caution in the back. Looks like that is Kane. As MVD has left the session. You do not like to see that. We'll see F7R dive it up the inside here. Redog gives him the space. There is contact. There's also contact from second and third, or third and fourth as well. It looks like these boys are going to be racy today. As there's a bit of scrabbling from behind, it looks like F7R is in the lead position as we go back through the grid here. Looks like everybody's staying clean. No spins. Kane is already back. I don't know why there was a caution in the back. Oh, as the Aston gets very loose. But it looks like he keeps it together there. Looks all pretty clean here, boys. Very racy at the start there. But no
Yeah,
DNFs, so that's what you like to see.
yeah. Everybody within a second going single file, except I think it's Chewy who's holding up the pack here. As a Alfa Romeo is stopped on the track. Oh, Zodic, he just cut the track and is going into the pits. That's not what you want to see at all. That is a dangerous move from the Alfa Romeo driver.
No, for sure. There was a bit of contact farther back, so that might have prompted him to do that. But even if that is the case, you are not allowed to cut the track to get into pit road.
As the Williams of E. Warren is up couple of places into P10. Fantastic start from the Williams driver.
For sure. And once lap 3 is upon us, this will mostly turn into a DRS train race. We'll see who uses their ERS the most efficiently here. ERS, in my opinion, is pretty easy to regain here. So if you need to get that pass done, I'd say you're pretty good to burn a lot.
As tire choices look fairly interesting here, especially at the top with F7RJs on the softs, Redog and Matt and Nick Minty on the hards, and rest of the field pretty much on the mediums, except Fiverr and Fragile also on the softs.
We'll see if
So looks like
Redog.
a mixed pack here.
Oh, for sure. As we'll see, Redog, he's just going to fall back in line here. Looks like Orlando is getting passed by Bad Fast there. Orlando is off the track. Don't know where he's going, but he's going to maybe get passed by 2 cars. Both the Red Bulls go through. As we go a bit further back there's a bit of action in the back. Looks like Fuse is going to get the pass done on Fiverr. So plenty of action to start out this race. This is what you love to see. As F7R and Redog have got a gap to Matt Duo, so they will be a mini DRS train. We'll see if they just trade DRS to get farther away from the rest of the pack.
Hopefully, Matt Duo can catch up to the top two because Redog and Matt are on the same strategy here. As we get our first time penalty of the day, it goes to the AlphaTauri of DK Nortec.
And I'm sure that will not be the last one, as Mail is going for the pass on Matt Duo, and he makes that pass pretty easily, as Matt did not have any DRS there. Doesn't look like there's any passes going on, but it does look like Bad Fat's got a lot better traction out of turn 3. He's going for the pass on Nick Minty here. We'll see if he can get it done into turn 4.
The Red Bull drivers coming through the grid, they'll be looking to get some points here, especially Electric Blade after a fantastic win in round 1. Couldn't get a lot of points in Netherlands. So they'll be looking to charge through the field.
As it is a waiting game at this point. You just got to pick your opponents off very selectively here. If they mess up in one of the traction zones, that's when you got to pounce. As we have the Haas off the track, probably got a warning for that. As we'll go up to the front of the grid here. We'll see if Mail gets passed. He's going to have a bit of a DRS train behind him. Would not be shocked if he gets passed by a few cars here.
As Redog has taken the lead as well.
Matt should make this move pretty easily. Breaks a bit later, and he has the move done. We'll see if Mail gets passed by Bad Fast here. Does not look like it, as Mail is going back. He's going to take the outside line down into turn 4. Never mind, he's going to get past him before the braking zone.
As Fragley goes into the pits for a new front wing, and Carton gets a 3-second time penalty. 3 drivers with penalties already within the first 5 laps.
I can't say I'm surprised in the slightest.
For sure. Hopefully, looks like the Haas of Mail is trying to catch the top 2, but they're falling back by a couple of tenths each lap. They might want to work together here, the Aston and the Haas, to catch up to the top 2. If they keep fighting like this, their top 2 are probably going to run away with it.
I would agree, as we are going to stick on board with these guys, as it looks like Orlando is trying to make a pass in the background there, as it looks like he did get it done. As you can see, there's a pass for the front pair there. As Mail has the DRS, Matt does not. Matt is probably going to lose 2 positions here. He was not ahead of the detection point, but electrically, or Bad Fast does not get past him. And Nick Minty and the Aston had a little bit of contact there, but they both get away unscathed, it looks like. As there's this one DRS train, and then JD's getting a DRS train of his own forming there. As Death is up into P16 from P20 at the start of the race.
Looks like Matt Duo, the Aston driver, has probably a little bit of low front wing because he's been able to keep up on the straights. And he's losing time in the corners, though.
For sure. We're going to stick on board with this first DRS train here, as they seem to just keep switching spots back and forth. This is what Austria is all about, though. As long as you can stick within the DRS train, you have a chance. As it looks like Matt Duo got past, but now he's going to get swallowed up again because he does not have DRS. We'll see if there can be a double overtake here. I don't know if Matt Duo is burning, but he stays ahead through turn 4.
Everybody in the pack there, from the Aston to the Red Bull, have pretty much similar ERS. Think even Orlando and Nick Minty have a good amount as well. So yeah, I think they're probably doing the smart thing and saving that battery.
No, for sure. Like I said, it is pretty hard to get around people here. There's not too many opportunities, unless you're leading the DRS train. Um, that's the only time you're really about to gonna get past, in my opinion, unless you have an abysmal um, drive off of one of the DRS zones, because you can't really pass in the middle sector and you can't really pass in the final sector.
Yep. As Redog will look to put F7RJs out of the DRS, and if that happens with the softer tires, Matt Duo, all the trailing pack should start to catch the Mercedes driver.
As Bad Fast couldn't make the move down into turn 3, we'll see if he can make it down into turn 4. Looks like they kept it clean for the most part. Mail stays ahead. As you love to see this close racing, this is what you come to watch for. This is
Yeah,
the
pretty
most
much.
entertaining.
Yep, pretty much from P3 to down to like P12. Everyone are within a second of each other.
As I would say, Bad Fast is probably the faster driver right now compared to Mail. But Mail is making that car 10 times wider than it is. As Bad Fast is going to dive it down the inside of turn 1. Not usually a passing zone, but he makes it stick. As Mail's probably going to lose another position here or two. As Orlando gets past the Red Bull. And it looks like he could get past the Haas here. We'll see if he can make the move stick up into turn 3. As he does, as he had the inside line. We'll see if Nick Minty can do the switchback. It does not look like he can. These guys better make sure, though, that they don't fall out of DRS, because once you fall out of DRS, that is basically day over, unless there's a safety car. It's very hard to get back into the DRS train here.
It's pretty impressive battling, clean but aggressive. That's what he loves to see.
As I would say, Bad Fast is fast. He is, yeah, he's just been picking them off one by one. He looks like he is definitely the fast car on track right now, in my opinion. We'll see if,
Definitely, he's the one who's gained up 5 positions, so he is definitely on a charge at the moment.
as Fuse looked like he spun, but he has gotten it back going again. We'll see if he pits. Don't know if he's got any damage or not. As Matt Duo is going to get reined back in here by this DRS train. He was gaining a little bit of time. As Redog and F7R look like they're the talk of the town right now for the win. They've pulled away nicely. We'll see. I don't know if they're just working together, trying to get away as much as they can. But it's working, whatever they're doing.
Orlando will be looking to get past Bad Fast here as he's blinking, or he was blinking a few moments ago, so he's pretty much low on battery, the Red Bull driver, and Orlando will be looking to capitalize and go ahead and challenge Matt Duo for P3.
For sure. Very, very close DRS train here. As it looks
Yes,
like past the top 11, basically all just single cars riding out now. So we're going to stay on board with this first DRS train here. See if anything transpires. We are only 11 laps into a 36 lap race, as there is somebody off, and I think that is DK Nortec out of turn one.
Yes, the
Oh,
Alpha
there's
is
contact,
spun.
sorry, through turn three. Matt Duo and Batfast get swarmed up as they had contact. Electric Blade and Orlando just picked their way through there. We don't know if there's any damage. Matt Duo is losing plenty of spots. Sorry, I did not mean to cut you off there.
That's okay. I was just about to report that it looked like DK had a spin, and that's why we lost. He lost so many positions there. As I also see the Williams of Deadstorm doing quite well. He's behind Chewy, and he has moved from P20 to P13, 7 positions. As Orlando gets a 3 second time penalty now. That's 5 drivers with 3 seconds under their name.
Yes, we'll see if penalty bingo happens tonight. As Mail
As
gets
Mel,
another 3 second time penalty. And you cannot serve your 3 second time penalties under pit stops. So those are there. So they hurt a lot, especially if there's a late safety car.
yeah, this pretty much removes Mail out of the podium positions. He has 6 seconds to his name, unfortunately. So that's going to be hard to shake off. Uh, Getting a 6 second gap will be difficult.
No, agreed. It's very tricky. Even if you um, like lose a little bit of pace, I'd say it's more important to stay within the track limits here and lose a bit of pace through the middle sector than get the penalties because you just, I mean, as long as you can stick with them through the DRS zones, you're good. And you
Yep.
lose so many positions here by getting a penalty because the racing is so close.
Yes, it's really hard to follow on this track. Yeah, the dirty air will probably throw your car everywhere.
As now the lead DRS train is 8 cars long. E Warren, the last car in the DRS train here, as it looks like Electric Blade is blinking, which I'm a bit surprised. I find DRS pretty easy to recoup around here, but he is also the lead car in this train, so he is probably trying to stay ahead. As they gave us a horrible camera angle. Don't know if anybody's going to his inside. It does not look like it.
F7RJs has done fantastic to keep up with Redog, considering the fact that he's on a soft tire, but Redog has just opened up the 1 second gap, and he should start to pull away now. And that's a pretty unsafe join there by F7RJs going into the pits, but nobody behind him, so no harm.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even realize he was starting on the sauce. So that's an interesting strategy. Redog looks like he was on the hards, correct?
Yes, he was on the hards, and F7RJs comes out with a set of mediums. So he's going to do 22 laps here on this on a set of medium tires. As Fuse has DNF'd, what has happened here?
I think that's in pit road. Um,
Oh,
I think
okay,
he did
that's
have six
good.
seconds in time penalties, so he might have just called it quits for the night. As Orlando makes the pass into turn four around the Red Bull of Electric Blade. I got to give even more credit to Redog now that he's pulled away 6 seconds on the hards. That is not easy to do. As there is a caution in turn one, but I think that's just Fuse's AI coming back out on track there. He should just pull to the side and be good. Those mediums, I don't know if. Be interested to see if F7R does a two-stopper or if he's going to try and take those mediums to the end. As
Yeah,
Warren,
right now.
the latest person to get a 3 second time penalty. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's gonna be hard for F7RJs to keep it for 22 laps, as he now also is a victim of track limits and gets himself a 3 second time penalty.
As Electric Blade, you see diving on the inside of Orlando here. Both drivers giving each other respectable space there. It looks like Electric Blade's going to get the pass done. We'll see if he gets passed again down into turn four here. Looks like he might be burning ERS as he is blinking. As a little bit squirrely in the background there is Mail. As Mail's going to try and go for the pass on the outside of turn 4. Just gets squeezed a little bit wide, and he's going to have to fall back in line.
Will be interesting to see when this top guys pit, especially P2 to P5, as they're all in the mediums.
As
We
the
have
Mercedes of
yellows.
JD looks like he has spun around. He's in the grass. Hopefully he can rejoin safely. He's being smart about it. There we go. Yeah, very smart. Went back off the track again to make sure that nobody hit him. As we have our first two front DRS trainers into the pits here of Orlando and Mail. Very early to pit. Well, I guess not very early. If they were on the mediums, they'll be going to hards the rest of the way. 20 laps on hards. That could definitely be done.
Yep. As F7RJ sets the fastest lap of the race with the 106.6.
As this is the part of the race where it gets tricky. Um, all the DRS trains are basically going to be broken up here. There's a little one at the front. Other than that, it's pretty spread out through the field as pit stops are happening. So we'll
Will
see what these front guys do here.
will be interesting to see when Nick Minty and Matt Duo pit because they are on the hards compared to the guys in the front who pit and the Red Bulls who are on the mediums. Also, Red Bull won't like to double stack for sure, so one has got to pit this lap maybe, and one the next. So it'll be interesting to see who pits first, as I think it's Bad Fast who's going into the pits.
Oof, as he got a little bit wide on the pit entry there, but that is legal. He did signal that he was going in there. As Electric
And he
Blade,
gets a
ooh,
5 second penalty for doing that.
that is not
That
what you
is,
like to see.
yep.
But Electric Blade has pulled out of DRS range from Nick Minty here. So we'll see if he pits the next time around. I'd say as long as you're in DRS range, stay out as long as you can here. As we got Matt Duo and Nick Minty battling on both on the hard tires. F7R is on the move. He's very rapid on those new sets of mediums. As Chaggerty is right behind him. I don't think he has pit yet though.
Chaggerty, no. The top 6, 7 drivers have yet to pit.
As good for Deathstorm too, P7. I know he's technically out of pit cycle right now, but great to see him
Hmm.
in P7 after starting P20.
Yep. Uh, I'm sorry, not everybody. Only F7R J's out of the top 7 has pit for a new set of mediums. So,
So I would say he is probably provisionally P1 right now. As Electric Blade pits, it does not look like Nick Minty or Matt Duo followed, but they are on the harder compound of tire. So it looks like they're going to stay out for a little longer. We'll see how long
uh,
Redog stays out here so he can have the freshest tires to the end. He's going to have considerably newer tires than basically the guy he's racing, F7R, but F7R is also catching him.
yep, F7R is just setting fastest lap after fastest lap. So, it'll be interesting to see as DK Nortec gets a 5 second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
As Nick Minty does not get the pass done on Matt Duo. Be interested to see when these two pit as they are 9 seconds now back of the leader. As Orlando is your first of cars of the most frequent pit stops here, him and Bad Fast, so they're battling for position.
As Redog jumps into the pits for a fresh set of mediums, I'm thinking.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As Matt Duo and Nick Minty both follow.
As Matt Duo gets a 5 second speed in pit lane penalty, which is not what you love to see. But F7R is going to have a considerable lead here, but his tires are going to be a lot older than Redog's. We'll see if Redog, what his gap is on Orlando and Bad Fast. Redog's also on the medium ring tire, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Of Orlando and Bad Fast are on the white walled hard tire. As Bad Fast has gone for a pass and he has made it very easily up into turn 3 here. We'll see if Orlando can get him back down into turn 4.
F7RJs right now has a 7 second gap. We'll see how fast Redog can close in. It'd be also interesting to see if there's a safety car or something like that, or if F7RJs goes for a 2 stop and goes for another set of softs or mediums.
Oh, for sure. If you don't mind me asking, how much time penalty does F7R have?
Uh, Hang on a
I
second
think it's
there.
just a
That's a good
3 second.
3 second.
Okie
Yes.
dokie. So as long as Redog can basically get within 3 seconds of F7R, he is looking golden. Bad Fast and Orlando are closer to Redog than before the pit stops, but again, they are on the harder compound now, and Redog is on the medium tire.
Dog looking like he's closing in a few tenths every corner. We're looking at Orlando and Electric Blade. Sorry, Bad Fast here. They've pulled a gap to Electric Blade in P5. Be interesting to see if Bad Fast can hold Orlando off so he can get his teammate into the mix.
For sure. Bad Fast is also well, he was blinking a second ago. It doesn't look like he's blinking anymore, but got the
Well,
nice
he is
nose
low.
cone. As the field is pretty spread out at the moment. Lots of 1 second or just over 1 second through the middle sectors there, but that'll probably rein back in towards the DRS zones.
Interesting to
As
see here that Orlando is showing yellow on his fuel. Might be a concern for him at the end of the race, but looks like we have Matt Duo setting the fastest lap, taking it away from Redog, who said it a few moments ago.
yeah, if I was Orlando, as JD gets a time penalty there, if I was Orlando, I would just personally stay behind Bad Fast and just save some fuel if I know I'm low.
Yep.
Because I would say it's very easy to save fuel around here.
Yeah, I would stay behind, and that way he would save ERS as well as fuel, and then he can make a charge at the end and secure probably. If he is able to close F7RJs, he could probably get a P. Oh no, he has a time penalty too. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. But maybe he can pull in out of Electric Blade and get a P3.
As we got the Halo on board there. That was pretty cool, but he thought smarter than to go for the move in the middle sector there. As Electric Blade, Matt Duo have caught the back of this DRS train. We'll see if they can move forward at all.
That leaves the Haas drivers behind. Unfortunately, they'll be looking to see if they can close up to the uh, the pack ahead of them.
As Orlando makes a pass down into turn three, I would not be surprised if the Haas duo. Oh, as Orlando goes deep, very deep, runs wide, and that lets Electric Blade by very easily. As we got this camera angle again, so we'll go with the no HUD for now. Um, I would not be surprised if the Haas just don't fight each other and just try and get back up through the to the DRS train as fast as they can.
As Redog is now only 2 seconds behind F7RJs. He is closing in rapidly uh, to the Mercedes driver. Apologies.
I would definitely say this is Redog's race to lose. One of the only
Yep.
drivers in the top without a time penalty, and he's looking rapid right now. We'll see if
Definitely.
he
He has
can.
looked super aggressive. So, he's looked on the pace today, and yeah, I would say it's his race to lose as well.
For sure, he doesn't want to lose a spot in the interview room. He just loves talking to us that much.
Matt, looks like Electric Blade is off track when fighting with against Matt Duo, who's using his ERS completely to keep ahead of the Red Bull driver there.
As the Haas duo is catching, they are almost back into the DRS range as they might lose a bit of time through sector two here. Matt Duo is also at a DRS as he's just crawled back in. As a Redog has caught F7R here. You can definitely tell the pace difference at the moment. I'm sure F7R is not feeling too good on those tires right now. They are considerably older but as long as he can stay in front of Bad Fast at the moment, I think he's got P2 maybe locked up because I would say
Yep.
the rest of the field has not caught him at all.
Yep. And uh, Mail gets another 3 second time penalty. It goes from bad to worse for him as he now has a total of 9 seconds next to his name. Not a great day for the Haas driver.
As Orlando makes the dive, but it looks all clean from this end. We'll see if he can get him back down in turn four. Might just be a bit far away here. Yeah, just a bit too far back as he almost drives into the back of Bad Fast.
As Redog does complete the overtake on F7 RJs, and he's using his battery to pull away and get him out of the DRS zone as quickly as possible, and looks like he is successful in that attempt.
No, for sure. And if I was F7R here, I would just take it nice and slow. Don't get any more penalties. As Orlando gets his second 3 second time penalty of the night, that is going to take him out of contention.
Yes, he now is on 6 seconds with F7 RJs on 3, Orlando on 6, and Matt Duo on 5. So this actually puts Electric Blade and Nick Minty in a great position to fight for P3.
No, for sure, 100%. That's what you love to see, though. I mean, you gotta love the drivers keeping it clean. They get to benefit from it. As it looks like if you are a sub to cost, it does look like we might have some emotes.
Oh, you'll love to see it. Some great emotes out there with the F1 season starting with some practice sessions. BK puts in some really nice emotes there in the chat.
As we are about to see less than 10 to go here. This is where the money is made. But again, F7R is not losing time to Matt Duo. So if I was him, I would just make sure I take it home and do not wreck the car. As Nick Minty gets a penalty, and that is going to drop him a few spots. He would have made those spots up, but Electric Blade is looking in prime position right now, as long as he keeps it clean.
Yes, and like you said, Matt and the trailing pack from P3 are not catching F7 RJs, but he still has to do 20 something laps at the start, so he'll be hoping at the end of the race that his tires don't
Oh,
blow up.
oh,
As Orlando
as
and Electric Blade, oh no,
that is all Electric
that is.
Blade did not have to do, but those two were battling hard all night. I don't know what transpired to that. We just caught the tail end of it. But that is not what you like to see. Now, I'd say from P3 to P6, those are going to be all for position. Because I'm pretty sure all of them have the same time penalty other than Matt Duo, who has, I think, a 5 second.
Well, no. Badfast has a 5, Matt Duo has a
Oh, okay.
5,
Bad
Mail
Fast
has a
does.
9, and Orlando basically has 6. So,
Okay. Well, Orlando's out of it. I mean, even just then. But
yeah.
that's not what you like to see there. I don't know exactly what transpired. We just caught the end of it. But we're going to stay on board here, see if there's any road rage. I don't think there will be. But be very interested to see the clip of that at the end of the race. I don't know. I know Orlando's run wide in that corner a few times today. I don't know if that was just another case where he went too deep and outbraked himself. But he was on the outside, or was he on the inside?
I think it was Electric Blade on the outside with Orlando on the inside
And so
there.
maybe Orlando just outbraked himself and put him into Electric Blade. I'm not 100% sure, but Electric Blade's going to get by him here. I mean, but if as Orlando goes deep again, I don't know if his brake pedal is broken or if he just likes going deep, but it seems to happen a lot. We'll see if Electric Blade, he still can catch and he still could make up a few spots if he just gains a bit of time here. Still plenty of laps to go.
Yeah, if he maintains this gap, he's now going ahead of Mail for sure. And if he can get within like 3 seconds of Nick and the others, he might still jump up to something like P4. It's still salvageable for him. But fighting with Orlando could derail that opportunity.
Kane needs an invite.
Yeah, I did send him one.
Okay, perfect. As I think So, which out of these guys does not have a 5 second at the first DRS train?
The first one did not have a penalty is obviously Redog and Electric Blade.
So what? No, but I mean, out of Matt, Bad, Nick, and Mail, who's got the least amount of penalties?
Oh, it's Nick. So
Okay, so
he's
Nick's in
actually in the
prime
prime
position here.
position.
Okay.
Yeah. But keep in mind, it looks like Matt is closing in on F7 RJs. He probably gained about half a tenth to 8 tenths in that lap. So watch out there because he's still F7 RJs has a 3 second penalty, and his tires must be really struggling right now. They must be screaming.
No, for sure. As Keen would like another invite if possible. Says the other one did not work. But Nick, as long
It's
as he stays within 2 seconds of Matt and Bad Fast here, he's looking in prime position to steal that last podium spot away. To be fair, I gotta give credit to the guys lower on the grid. No time penalties. I mean, you gotta respect it. That's what you like to see.
Yep.
As we got Bad Fast going for a pass on Mad Duo here. And he's gonna make it relatively easy with the Haas drivers just pulling up on the rear.
Looks like with all the battling that Electric Blade is doing with Orlando, he's losing time. He he must be hoping he doesn't lose over 9 seconds to Mail here. If not, he's stuck in P7, which is very unfortunate for him as Fragile gets a 3 second time penalty who's running in P19 at the moment.
Yeah, very unfortunate there, but gotta give a shout out to Redog here. He's looked good all race. Basically been the class of the field since the qualifying timer went to 17 minutes and 59 seconds remaining. Yeah, he's basically driven and hasn't looked back since.
Yeah, a phenomenal drive from him for sure. As there's some battling going on here between Badfast and Electric Blade, and Nick Minty has overtaken three drivers here to jump up to P3. A phenomenal move from the Haas driver.
No, that was a beautiful move by Nick there. Now he's not got to worry about time penalties. As long as he doesn't get another 3 second, he has the podium position locked up. But there is still
Yep.
6 laps to go, so plenty of time to make a mistake.
Yep, we're still not out of the safety car window as well, so you never know what's gonna happen here.
Yeah, gotta give these guys credit. Hopefully, I don't commentator curse this, but they've been very clean, I would say, for the most part, other than that Orlando and Electric Blade incident that we saw there. Zero safety cars. You don't get that very often. So, yeah, gotta give respect where respect is due.
Yes, a clean showing here from AM2 today. No incidents reported in the last race as well, and looks like this race they've been very uh, good.
Yeah, definitely cleaned it up since the first race of the season there. But no, very respectable for these guys. I mean, you want to, in reality, you want to see green flag racing. You don't want to sit here and see safety car the whole time, right? So it's
Yeah.
good that these guys can race around each other, and yeah, it's fun to watch.
Yep. As it looks like Eve Warren is battling here for P9, but he does have an 8 second time penalty next to his name. So another unfortunate day for the Williams duo. If only they did not have those penalties, and if only Deathstorm had a clean qualifying, it would have been an interesting race for them. But unfortunate for the Williams duo today,
And
as Zadek gets a 3 second time penalty.
there is the penalties at the moment for the prediction. Just gonna flash it up on screen real quick. If you want to see a screenshot of that, you can take it, but it just clogs up the screen. So we're gonna take that off here in the final laps. As MVD has a lost connection, that could hurt him with his AI having to be driving now.
Sent you an invite, sir. So hopefully he can join back.
As still, you can go back into the. I'll show it at the end.
Yes, as these guys are still fighting single file for that last podium position. They have pulled in F7 RJs, but not by a lot. And he looks set for a fantastic P2 here.
No, that's definitely a good drive for him because he's been on those medium tire compounds, I think, since lap 14. So yeah, I'm surprised he's keeping the car straight, to be fair with you. As it looks like Matt Duo, he was thinking about it into turn one, but thinks better of it. It is a battle for P4 here between Matt Duo, Bad Fast, and Mail, I think. I think they all have the same amount of penalties here.
Yep. As looks like Nick is the one who has the best ERS. As Bad
Oh!
Fast collides with Matt Duo there, and he
Um,
loses that spot. Hopefully, he has his wings as he's trying to come back and take the position from Mail, and he fails to do so. That was an unfortunate move there for Bad Fast and loses a position. He has, remember, the same amount of penalties as Matt Duo, so if he wants that P4, he needs to make the move.
for sure. He said bump and run. He's like, hold my beer, get out of my way. I'm coming through. So we'll see if Bad Fast can pass him back. Well, that does not look like it. Not at this point. If he's lagged out,
Oh
looks
no.
like P6 is his at the moment. Unless Electric Blade can get within that 5 seconds, which I wouldn't be shocked if he could, because AIs do drive a bit slower than the humans. But we're going to stay on board with this front little DRS train here. We'll see coming down to the final few laps if there is any position changes. I think the only race for position in this front pair at the moment is between Matt Duo and Mail Carton, because Nick does have less penalties than the other two.
Yes, as Mail has 9 and Bad Fast has 5. It's probably taken them out of contention here. Nick is, if he just stays within the track limits and between these guys, he's set for a fantastic podium today.
No, for sure.
As Easy 10 joins the penalty list today with a 3-second time penalty.
And for BK here,
Only,
since we're coming to the
yeah,
end here, I'll flash up the penalties on the screen one more time there. If you want, you can take a screenshot. As it looks like. So Mail Carton is basically not for position here because he has 9 seconds. As it looks like that is a McLaren of Orlando has spun in turn 9. So he is going to fall out of the points. That is very disappointing for him. But the only position here, as Matt's going to get past Nick. Nick shouldn't be too worried though, because he is good on the penalties. So he will have that position. As Electric Blade is going to get one spot, maybe two. Electric Blade could be on for 5th place here.
well, I think even Fuse had a penalty before he DNF, so I think I count 12,
Yeah, Fuse.
Mr. BK.
Yeah, Fuse had 2 3-second time penalties, if I am not mistaken.
Yes, so only 5 drivers, I think, without 6 drivers without a penalty today, and Eve Warren gets another 3-second time penalty. That is unfortunate for the Williams driver, as he now has 11 seconds in time penalties as we start uh, the final lap.
Yes, as Redog has been the class of the field, he is going to win this thing with ease unless he messes up royally. F7R has lost a considerable amount of time, but he's just trying to nurse the car home, I think, for P2. Nick Minty
And
goes back into P4, but he will have P3 locked up as long as he stays within 2 seconds.
I see a few drops of rain here. Hopefully, it doesn't mess everything up for these drivers.
That's what you love to see. Who wouldn't love a little bit of rain sprinkled in the last laps when your tires are hitting the 60% drop off?
Yes, that.
As Redog's coming to the line, and he is going to be your winner for race 3 at Austria.
Oh, as Matt Duo gets a 3-second time penalty, that is unfortunate. Now he is going to go back to probably P6, but P2 for Fuse, a fantastic drive for him. Matt Duo crosses the line in P3, but where will that end up? We're not sure yet. Bad Fast crossing the line, his AI at least.
An electric blade all the way up to P4 just because he has not got a time penalty. That is what you love to see. You keep it on track, you do get rewarded. As I think Chaggerty will get a few spots here. He will get only up to P8 as MBD's P9 and E Warren rounds out your points.
Yes, Bad Fast has joined the session after the race is over. That is unfortunate.
But that was a great race. Since the race is over, I'll flash the. Oh, well, I was going to say I'll flash the penalties on the screen real quick. But you will be able to see them when we're going through the final finishing order. If you can take us through once it pops up, because I just got to take a screenshot of the points.
Yes, sir.
But I would say overall, I'd say that was a very respectable race. There might have been one or two incidents on there at the end that, could have been a little bit cleaner. But I'd say overall, zero safety cars. That's what you like to see. Only one DNF. I'd say that was a very good race for AM2.
Yes, and here are the final standings for AM2 in Austria. It's Redog who takes the win and the fastest lap with, so he gets the maximum complement of points here today with the Mercedes of F7 RJs in P2. Nick Minty gets P3 with Electric Blade, the Red Bull in P4. Matt Duo P5 with the Mail in P6. Bad Fast with P7 with Chaggerty in P8. Chewy, the McLaren with P9, and Warren gets the first point for the Williams team in AM2 with P10. JD gets P11 with Orlando in P12. Deadstorm in P13 with the Fiverr in P14. DK P15 followed by Kane in 16. Easy 10 in P17 followed by Fragley in P18. Zotic in 19 with Fuse being the only driver to DNF I think in P20. So yeah, not a lot of DNFs. Everybody finishing. So yeah, it was a good clean race. A lot of battles here and there, but yeah, Redog with a dominant performance as well.
Yeah, no, that was. You definitely got to give credit to Redog there. Dominant performance and zero time penalties. That is very hard
Yep.
to do around this track. So, got to give respect where respect is due. As we are going to switch over to the interviews here. Um, we're going to get the top three, hopefully, in a voice chat.
Yes, I will read as of right now.
But yet again, thank you everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed the race. Just wait here to get the top three in. Um, but a very good race for AM2. Um, yes, a very quick race because short track, and obviously no safety cars. Um, but yeah, no, very good race, in my opinion. Um, and again, just respect everybody keeping it clean. That's what you love to see, especially from a driver's standpoint. You never want um, dirty driving. Uh, the cleaner it can be, the better for everybody. As just wait for our third place finisher to join us here. I guess we can start with Redog. So Redog,
Yep.
P1, coming off a P2 from last week. You're looking strong. Great qualifying session, followed up by an outstanding race. Won it by a crazy amount. Had pole by a crazy amount. How is it feeling today?
It feels great. Just getting the win, and especially it being by quite a bit. No penalties around Austria. I feel like that's an accomplishment. Um, yeah, just excited.
No, for sure. It was a very good race for you. Did you ever have a time in the race where you're like, okay, I might not have this one, or did you think you were had it won straight from the green?
Um, well, first corner I got a little scared from Jay sending it down the inside, but we each gave each other room, and it was clean. And I was really happy with my pace because I stuck with him on the hards when he was on softs. But no, not really. I felt like I had it from the beginning. Well, other than when Jay pitted really, really early ahead of me and got like a 13-second gap, but I closed that within like 6 laps. So Yeah, I don't know, but I think I had it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I definitely think you had it as well. You I definitely think this was your best race, race pace wise. We always knew you
Yeah.
were a good qualifier, but you definitely showed the race pace here. Any questions, Devil, for him?
Oh, yeah. So you've gotten a P2 and a P1. So, what do you think are your chances of winning the championship, especially with Stubley unfortunately missing the race today? I'm sure you didn't miss him today. But yeah, what do you think you're looking for this season going forward?
Um, I'm feeling like it's gonna be a pretty good battle with me, Jay, and Stubley.
Oh, for sure. Today you looked the class of the field. Congratulations, and hopefully we'll see you probably stronger in Singapore. Uh, Good luck and well done.
Thank you.
As we will head over to our second place finisher, F7R. Um, Gotta be honest, you looked great out there for being on 22 lap old mediums. How did the car feel on that final stint there?
Uh, yeah, it felt pretty bad. The mediums were falling off. I was at like 70% across the line, but I felt like I had to try something different because Redog's fast. So I thought I'd start on the softs and try to take the lead, but I couldn't pull away. So I just let him take the lead and then kind of followed him, let him pull me along to get us away from all the other packs. So that worked out.
No, for sure. I definitely think that was the smart move. Um, yeah, no, I mean, honestly, you looked good out there. A considerable gap to P3. Definitely think you had the pace there. Um, what are your thoughts heading on to the rest of the calendar here? Do you think you got a chance at the championship?
I don't know about winning the championship, but I definitely think I can be in the top three. Um, so my aim's probably like third. If it, I keep improving, driving a lot, so we'll see what happens. But Redog's really fast, so I don't know, man.
No, for
We'll see
sure.
there.
100%. Devil, you got any
Yeah.
questions for our man in second place?
Yeah, were you ever scared your tires are going to explode or something like that at the end of the stint?
Uh,
You said it was on 70%, or the guys behind were slightly catching you. So did you ever feel like, okay, I hope they don't catch me up, or were you sweating there at the end?
well, yeah, I started sweating at the end for sure, and I started losing time. But I thought rain was coming too, right? So
Yeah.
I put on the mediums thinking we were going to pit, and then you know, last few races we've had 3 or 4 safety cars, and not having one kind of messed me up there a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
it was clean racing today for sure from everyone.
yeah, it was
At
good. It
least
was good.
from what it looked like from the comp sense. So congratulations and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you, and congrats to Redog.
And now we move over to our third place finisher, Nick. Second time on the podium, if I'm not mistaken. How did the car feel out there today?
Yeah, the car was pretty decent. I knew my pace wasn't going to be that strong. Austria is just not one of my better tracks, so basically my whole game plan was to minimize the corner cuts, especially on the last 2 corners, because it's so easy to cut right there and get a 3-second time penalty. And yeah, I just tried to keep my nose clean the whole time. I fell back a little bit about midway through the race after the pit stops. I kind of got caught behind somebody and I lost a couple seconds or so, but towards the end of the race, the pace was strong. The car felt good, and yeah, I found myself back on the podium. So pretty happy with that.
No, for sure. At the middle stint there, was it a team plan for you guys to just keep it civil and just try and catch back up to the DRS train there? You and your Haas teammate looked like it was going well.
Pardon.
Yeah, no, for sure. We had like pretty equal pace, to be honest. Um, Towards the middle stint, like you were saying, I was letting him draft me, and we're able to catch up to the front pack, and it ended up working out in both of our favors. So because he let me by earlier in the race, and so I kind of repaid the favor and kind of slowed down a little bit right before the DRS zone just to make sure he gets the DRS activated for the straights, and yeah, it ended up working out for both of us.
No, for sure. I definitely think that was 100% the smart move. It got you away with a P3. Um, Kept it clean for the most part. Only that one time penalty. I think that really helps people out there. But no, for sure. Devil, you got any questions for our third place finisher?
Yeah, sure. First of all, it's nice to hear team uh camaraderie working out a little bit there. Did you Was it a planned strategy for you to start on the mediums and your teammate to start on the hards and see where you go from there, or was it just you picking on your own?
Well, I actually started on the hards and
Oh,
they all
okay,
started
sorry.
on the mediums. No, yeah, you're good. It was backwards, but yeah, no, it that's usually I usually like to start the races on the harder tire. That way, towards the end, I'll be on the softer tire. Less fuel, the car's going to go a lot faster, and we're on the softest compound. So that's usually my game plan for most races. And yeah, I think that was the way to go for this track, and it ended up working out. Got a podium out of it, much better than last weekend. Last weekend was an absolute disaster, so pretty happy with the podium.
Yeah, definitely. And I believe this is your second podium of the season. Do you think you can convert that to a victory in Singapore?
Oh, we'll see. I haven't done a league race on Singapore in a long time, so I'm not too sure how my pace is there. But generally, it's pretty decent. But got guys in here like Redog who's stupid fast, so we'll have to wait and see how it goes.
Sounds good. Hopefully, it'll be a lot closer in Singapore. Congratulations, and yeah, well done, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so now that we've interviewed our top three, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us this week. Catch us next week at Singapore for round 4 on a Wednesday for AM2 action. But tomorrow, we still have EU1 at 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK time, and then AM1 rounding off this week action at 9 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. UK time. So make sure to come and watch that. And everybody, remember to keep your wheels on the track.